Hi, welcome to another episode of Stripped Down, a man's tale. It's not only a man's tale. We'll definitely be talking about all genders, especially men and women. But today, I just want to share a little story about myself and what I've been through. I was supposed to have another episode, I think 2 days ago, or no, I think 3 days ago. It couldn't happen because I had a very horrific and horrible accident which almost took my life. But that's not what we're going to talk about. A lot of people ask me why I am fortunate. It's not about being fortunate, it's about grace. So today we'll speak about the grace for the weary. And it's in the verse of 1 Kings 19 verse 4. I remember God himself went days on a journey into the wilderness and came and sat down at a place. And the broom tree, I remember very well. And he asked that he might die, saying, "It is enough. O Lord, take my life, for I am no better than my fathers." That's 1 Kings 19:4. You know, at every point in time, everyone goes through something. I remember one of my sermons that I used to give, and where I centered mostly on the kind of challenges, the kind of madness, the kind of there's this word, what is it called? Craziness. I mean, it's a word that defines madness, craziness, abyss. You looking into the abyss and the abyss looking back at you. But this time, when the abyss looks back at you, it becomes a whole different problem. If you say, "Udu empempensobia, ubo brana kodu baby," you start to question God. Are you qualified? Are you better? I don't know. People will indulge in businesses. These are areas that I would love us to talk about and share my personal stories for you to know that even as, let's say, a fortunate person's son like me, I also went through it. When I had a chance to read and understand the context here in 1 Kings 19, this speaks about Elijah, which was talking about the verses right before this. He prayed and fire fell from heaven. He prayed and rain came from the sky. For the first time in years, he has just been on a spiritual mountain top high. And then in the beginning of this chapter, this 1 Kings 19, Jezebel, King Ahab's wife, threatened him. What people forget is, today we're not going to get King Ahab's wife threatening you. We're going to get life threatening you. We're going to get yourself threatening you. We're going to get family threatening you. We're going to get friends threatening you. Elijah goes on the run, running away from God, running away from what God has called him to do. This is the part. I keep asking people that, do God give us the tools to work with? Do God give us the room, the avenue? Does he really, really protect us the way we feel, or the way we think, or the way we know? These are things that I want to talk about. There are times I'm going to share or open up a forum where people are going to ask me questions. I'm not the best or the most experienced person in the world. but I have been through things that has built my confidence, that has built my my tough skin. So certain things that will hit someone, if it hits me today, I know, oh, okay, around this time, I did we hear me say. Imagine, I know my father intercedes for me every single time in prayer. Then I wake up in the morning, driving over to him to see how he is doing health-wise. So trying to swerve a pregnant woman and a guy on a motorbike, all that I saw was a car that has been parked somewhere for months, just run into it. And for seconds, for minutes. And what bothers me about this is, I got into the accident and life just flashed over. The question was, did I really want to go on? Do I want to come back and face whatever that I'm facing in life? Or I want to go on in life and make the best out of it? These things happen. Because if you look at 1 Kings, for instance, 1 Kings 19, when Elijah goes running away from God, running away from what God has asked him to do, running away from his journey as a man of God. Elijah, this is the same, let's analyze it. This is the same Elijah that killed the Baal prophets. This is the same Elijah that caused hunger and famine in the country. This is the same Elijah, where when they saw a chariot with fire coming down from heavens, some even said they saw cherubim as part of the people that came to pick him up. The guy did not die. He was so powerful to the extent that a little part of his rope that Elisha was able to pull away made Elisha so powerful that when Elisha even died, his corpse or his coffin that mistakenly fell on a dead body's coffin rose that person that had died months ago. That is power. But the question is, this same person questioned God. You get to a certain lowest part of your life where you don't even want to go on. You're not just that you don't want to go on with what God has asked you to do, or you don't want to go on with what you're doing in life. You don't even want to go on with life itself. And 1 Kings 19 verse 4 shows us how God meets us in our lowest places. I remember very well growing up listening to my father's stories. To me, my father is a hero. My father he's a martyr. And my hero, at one point in time, ate rotten food. My hero, at one point in time, went to lie down by the train section, cross section, waiting for a train to come in and kill him. So a gentleman just walked up to him, a Muslim, and said, "Hey, what the hell are you doing? What are you doing here? If you don't know what is going to happen to you tomorrow, if God hasn't killed you, if your life hasn't been taken away from you, you never know what tomorrow holds for you." That is deep. And when I read this verse about Elijah, I think there is not one of us that is above or beyond getting to this point in our lives where we wonder, whether we can go on, how can we go on, or if we can even go on in the first place. This is one of the things I love most about the Bible, or let me say I love most about God. How it is so real and identifies with realities that are all experience, that we all experience. Look at the things that we see in the Bible, we hear in the Bible, and you can directly, associate it with whatever that is going on today. We all go through similar experiences, any of us, and some of you may be there today in some way or some degree. God, how can I go on? God, can I go on? Or maybe even, God, I don't really want to go on. I have a friend that I will not mention his name, and his rent was due a couple of weeks ago. The guy he didn't have a single dime to pay it. He's got kids, he's got a wife that are all looking up to him. They are looking up to him. He is looking up to God. But at that time, what is God going to do? How does God come in to help? So, did we waste time preparing ourselves for that problem that happened? Did we not listen? Probably in life, we all had certain experiences whereby people tried to advise us, but we didn't listen. We all had certain things that people tried to advise us, explain to us that. Because for me, let me say, growing up, my father would tell me, don't go here, don't do this. But I don't know why until at that age, from the ages of 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 till 25, you feel you're the wisest person. But you get to a point where you feel that you learn, say, Sebi. Now I know what form kakra, you should have listened to certain things. If you're lucky, you get people to advise you, and if you listen to it, you go through it. Today we're just looking at two people. My father, Apostle Kojo Sarfo, that people know, and Elijah, that people don't know, and we heard about. Elijah questioned himself if he even wants to go on. Elijah questioned himself if he's even worth it going on. The same thing happened to my father. I call him the rose that broke out from the concrete, because it is impossible for rose to grow out of concrete. Now, if you look at this, where God comes in to reassure and affirm, and where God meets us, 1 Kings 19 verse 4. I'll say, what I love about this passage is what happens right after this, because God meets Elijah here. He nourishes him, feeds him, gives him rest, and helps him to go on. And I just want to encourage you that when you hit that low point in life, when you hit that point where you feel you are at abrabo enkwanta, unim se uko wanim, uko wachi, uko benkum, anase uko nifa, always remember that if you are for God, God is for you, which inevitably will come for all of us one day. When you find yourself at any point where you wonder how, or even if you can go on, I want to remind you that you are not alone in this moment, that God is right there with you. Nyame oho, Nyame oso na dofo eshe. 3 people that I'll add to today's sermon is Job. What did Job do? Job was a rich man. He had everything. He was doing all kinds of charity works that today most rich people don't do. They do it for social media craze. They do it for social media clout. I won't do such things. But 1 Kings, always remember 1 Kings 19, 1 Kings 19 to 4. Today's episode of Stripped Down, A Man's Tale will continue. Now, What I want you to understand today is, I know lots of you, everyone is asking questions about these bandages. I love the scars. The scars will always remind me where I have been. On the 4th episode of Stripped Down, A Man's Tale, I'll strip all the bandages down, and I'll let you know what I have been through and how it has made me stronger, and how it has made me wiser, and how it has made me more patient and more of a believer in His word. Nyame nkoso no nshiro obi bia. Nyame odi ye free esumu edi ye ba ehan mu. Nyame odi ye be ono nyame ne man. Onkoso no mbo ye ho ban. Amen.